All right, strap in, everyone. We're going deep on the AI revolution this time.
Yeah.
You've sent in a really interesting mix of articles and blog posts. It
Yeah.
seems like you're all really curious about, what's actually changed in the 2 years since AI kind of took over the world.
It is a good time for a check-in, actually. I mean, 2 years is enough time to see past the hype and start to see some real impact. And especially with these sources, right? We've got analyses of the markets, predictions from experts. We've even got someone using AI to write books.
Okay, so let's get into it. First things first.
Yeah.
Everyone remembers ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
Late 2022.
Oh, yeah.
That was generative AI's big moment. Suddenly, we have tools that can just create things, text, code, images, like you name it.
Right.
But one of the articles you sent, the McKinsey report, it kind of pours some cold water on all that excitement.
Yeah, it basically shows that while everyone is talking about generative AI, businesses haven't really adopted it that widely, like across the board. In fact, the adoption rate has basically stayed the same since 2022.
Huh. So that makes you wonder, right? Is the AI revolution all talk?
Yeah.
Or is it kind of bubbling under the surface?
Well, to figure that out, we got to look at what's actually changed over these past 2 years. And one of your sources gives us a perfect example.
Okay, yeah.
Mike Tedesco, in his blog post, compares AI image generation from 2022 to now 2024 using the exact same prompt both times.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Keeping the prompt the same isolates the AI, lets you really see how much it's improved. What prompt did he use?
Oh, it was a pretty complex one. A small group of people panicking out about what they see on a computer screen. Painting by Leonardo da Vinci.
Okay.
Now, in 2022, what the AI came up with, let's just say it wasn't winning any art awards.
I get it.
But then, 2024, night and day, it's not just the scene, it actually got that classic Da Vinci look.
Wow.
And get this, he can even animate these images now using stuff like Runway ML.
So in just 2 years, we've gone from, these blurry blobs to animations that could be in a museum.
Yeah. And that's just one example. AI isn't just getting better at one thing, it's becoming what they call multimodal.
Multimodal.
Yeah, meaning these models can handle different types of data, text, images, video,
Right.
and they're getting better at, kind of weaving them all together. It opens up so many possibilities, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And speaking of possibilities, Tedesco also tried to use AI to write, whole books.
Oh, wow.
Let's just say not exactly bestsellers.
Right.
But he went from taking 20 hours to write a book down to 10 minutes.
No way.
In just 2 years. So, maybe AI novelists aren't a thing yet, but the speed of that improvement.
It makes you think.
It's mind-blowing, right? Where are we going to be in another 2 years? What does this mean for all the creative types out there?
It's a big question, yeah. What does this mean for you listening, for your work, your industry? This goes way beyond art or writing.
It does.
Yeah.
The AI Revolution 2024 article you sent, it lays out how AI is already being used in all sorts of fields. Take cybersecurity, for example. They talk about real-time threat detection, automated risk management.
Think of it like you've got an AI security guard always on duty scanning for threats.
Oh,
Because the amount of data in cybersecurity is just, it's too much for any human.
Yeah.
AI can analyze it all instantly, maybe even stop attacks before they happen.
That's wild.
It is. And then there's healthcare, right, already being transformed by AI.
Yeah, the article mentions diagnoses, treatment plans, even helping surgeons during complicated operations.
Exactly. And the potential there is huge. Think about quicker, more accurate procedures, treatments tailored to your specific, genes, your DNA.
That's incredible.
AI could revolutionize how we think about health and well-being altogether.
And the article also mentions entertainment.
Yep.
AI is already doing things like personalized recommendations on streaming services, and we're seeing more and more AI-powered VR experiences.
Oh, for sure.
Imagine a world where all your entertainment is just for you.
Yeah.
It's constantly changing, adapting to what you like.
That's amazing.
It is.
And of course, we can't forget e-commerce.
Right.
AI is changing everything there, from shopping to how businesses manage their inventory.
Yeah, targeted marketing, AI chatbots, algorithms that know what you want before you do.
Exactly.
It really is crazy to think about how much AI is already in our lives, even if we don't always realize it.
Yeah.
But this AI revolution, it's not just about cool new tech and gadgets,
Right.
There are some really big, important questions we need to ask about how it's affecting society.
Absolutely. And one of the articles you sent from the London School of Economics, I think they frame it perfectly.
Okay.
They say AI is like the internet. huge potential for good and bad. It all comes down to the choices we make now as we're building and using this technology.
So what are some of those choices? What do we really need to be thinking about?
Well, I mean, how do we regulate AI? That's a big one.
Yeah, how do we even start with that?
Right. Do we, like, let the market decide how it develops, or do we need the government to step in?
Right, to make sure it's used ethically.
Exactly, ethically and responsibly, but it's tough.
It is tough, yeah.
There's no easy answer. And then there's education.
Oh, right.
Like, how do we prepare kids, future generations, for a world where AI is, like, everywhere?
Yeah, what skills are they going to need? What's going to be important in an AI world?
Exactly. We need to, like, equip people not just to work with AI, but to really understand it.
Yeah.
Its limitations, its biases. You can't just know how to use the tools.
Right.
You got to think critically about how they're being used, how they're affecting our lives.
And then, of course, there's the big one.
Oh, yeah.
Jobs. AI going to create more jobs than it destroys? Or is this time different?
That's the question, isn't it? It's been on everyone's mind since automation started.
Right.
And AI is kind of the next step in that evolution. And some people say AI will create more jobs. But we got to be realistic. There's going to be disruption, and we got to figure out how to help the people who lose jobs because of AI. Maybe retraining programs,
Right.
Maybe new kinds of social safety nets.
Yeah, it's complicated. No easy answers.
No, but it's a conversation we have to have now.
Right. Not after it's too late. But reading all these articles, I was struck by how AI's impact goes beyond these big, abstract questions.
Okay.
It's already being used to solve real-world problems.
Exactly. And one area where it's showing huge potential is tackling global challenges.
Yeah.
Like in that AI Revolution 2024 article, the one about climate change migration.
Yes. That was really interesting. How can AI even address something that complex?
Well, think about all the data involved, right? Tracking and predicting migration. It's environmental data, economic data, social data. It's massive. AI can help us make sense of it all.
Yeah.
Find trends.
Yeah.
Maybe even predict where migration flows will go in the future.
So it's like AI could help us understand where people are moving, why they're moving, and what they need when they get there.
Exactly. And that's crucial for policymakers.
Right.
Aid organizations, anyone trying to deal with the human side of climate migration. AI can help anticipate needs,
Yeah.
allocate resources better, and just, provide better support to those who are displaced.
It's amazing to see how AI can go beyond just, like, making cool gadgets.
Yeah.
It can tackle some of humanity's biggest problems.
Yeah,
It really shows you the good it could do.
it does. And it's not just about analyzing data that's already out there.
Right.
It's about using AI to create whole new solutions. The article mentioned quantum computing being used to develop AI.
Whoa, okay, now that sounds futuristic. Quantum computing, that's like sci-fi movie stuff, right?
It might sound like it, but it's becoming real. And when you combine that with AI,
Right.
the possibilities are mind-blowing.
Okay, so for those of us who aren't, quantum physicists,
Uh-huh.
what makes quantum computing so special, and how could it affect AI?
Basically, quantum computers, they use these weird laws of quantum mechanics
Right.
to solve problems that are impossible for even the most powerful, like regular computers.
Yeah.
They can do calculations way faster, exponentially faster,
Okay.
which means they can speed up AI algorithms and potentially lead to breakthroughs in like medicine,
Right.
material science, logistics, all sorts of fields.
This is we're talking like designing life-saving drugs
Yeah.
or figuring out like complex supply chains in a fraction of the time it takes now.
Exactly. It's early days, but the potential of quantum AI is huge. And it just goes to show AI is always evolving, always pushing the limits of what's possible.
And it does feel like we're just scratching the surface. But with all this talk of potential, it's important to remember AI is still a tool.
A tool.
And any tool can be used for good or bad.
Absolutely. We can't just get caught up in the excitement and forget about the ethics. AI is powerful, and we got to use it responsibly. We need open, honest conversations about the risks and the benefits, and we have to make conscious choices about how we want to live with AI, how we want it in our societies.
And that brings us back to those big questions we were talking about.
Right.
Regulation, education, the future of work in an AI world. These aren't just like philosophical debates. They're things that are going to affect all of us.
And they're not things that technologists can figure out on their own. We need everyone. Policymakers,
Right.
ethicists, social scientists, regular people. This needs to be a conversation across like all of society.
It's about deciding what kind of future we want with AI, and that's everyone's responsibility.
Yeah.
We can't just sit back and let it happen to us.
Exactly. We have to shape it.
And that actually brings us back to the McKinsey report.
Okay.
Remember how adoption rates are flat?
Yeah.
That means we still have time to influence how AI is used.
Right.
Whether you're a CEO, an employee, just a regular person, you can advocate for responsible AI in your own world.
Within your own sphere of influence, exactly.
So like pushing for ethical guidelines at your company,
Uh-huh.
supporting politicians who want to regulate AI properly,
Yeah.
even just talking to your coworkers about how AI might change your jobs.
Right. Even small things can make a difference.
I like that. And responsible AI isn't just about like avoiding the bad stuff.
It's about making sure it's used for good. We need to think about how AI can make a more just, equitable, sustainable world.
Yeah. It's easy to get caught up in the fear and anxiety around AI.
For sure.
But we need to remember it's also a huge opportunity, a chance to make things better.
It all comes down to our choices, right?
Mm.
Do we use AI to make inequality worse, or do we use it to create a more level playing field? Do we let it erode our privacy, or do we use it to empower people? These are the questions we got to be asking as we move forward.
And that's a perfect way to bring back Mike Tedesco.
Okay, yeah.
And his question about beating Mike Tyson, remember?
Uh-huh, yeah.
How the AI went from just no to this longer, more polite explanation. It really shows you something interesting.
What's that?
It's like maybe we're not just teaching AI to think, but to feel, to empathize, to get the nuances of human communication.
It's true. It's like we're giving it some of our own humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that AI isn't just code. It's a reflection of us, our values, our hopes, even our fears. The future of AI, it's a story we're writing together.
And we got to make sure it's a good one.
Exactly. So, I mean, we're at a crossroads with this stuff, right? This incredible tech. It could solve huge problems, but it could also create new ones. So where do we even go from here? What can we, like regular people, actually do to make sure AI is used for good?
That is the million-dollar question, right? And thankfully, I think these articles give us some actual steps. The first one's simple. Stay informed.
Stay informed,
Yeah, AI changes so fast.
Oh, it does.
What we know today could be totally different tomorrow.
Right.
Keep learning, keep asking questions. Don't just take things for granted.
So, like, don't just take our word for it.
Uh-huh.
Go out there, read up on this stuff. The more people understand AI, the better decisions we can make about, how it's developed and how it's used.
Exactly. And don't underestimate your own voice, right? Like, talk about AI, share your thoughts.
Yeah.
Your worries with your family, friends, even your elected officials.
Right.
The future of AI is being decided right now, and we all got to be a part of that.
It's like that saying, right? If you're not at the table, you're on the menu.
Uh-huh.
We can't just sit back and let other people decide what our AI future looks like. We got to be involved.
Absolutely.
And, that brings us back to that McKinsey report and the flight adoption rates. We still have time to, steer things in the right direction.
That's right.
It doesn't matter if you're a CEO or an employee or just, someone who cares. You can push for responsible AI in your company, your community, wherever you are.
In your own little corner of the world. So, that could be like pushing for ethical guidelines at your company, supporting politicians who want to regulate AI well.
Yeah.
Even just having conversations with your coworkers about how AI will change your jobs.
Yeah, it all adds up. And responsible AI isn't just about avoiding the bad stuff.
Right.
It's about making sure it's used for good. For real.
For the benefit of everyone.
Yeah. To create a better world.
A more just world, a more fair world.
Exactly. And it's so easy to get caught up in the fear,
Oh, yeah.
But AI is also a huge opportunity, a chance to actually make things better.
It all comes back to those choices, right? Do we use AI to make inequality worse? Or do we use it to create a more level playing field? Do we let it take away our privacy? Or do we use it to, empower people? It's uncharted territory, and we're writing the map as we go.
So to wrap things up here, one last thought. Remember Mike Tedesco and his question about fighting Mike Tyson?
Of course.
How the AI went from a simple no to a more, thoughtful, polite explanation.
It was interesting.
It really is. It shows that maybe we're not just teaching AI to think, but to feel.
To understand us better.
Yeah, to get those human nuances.
It's a good reminder that AI isn't just, ones and zeros in a computer. It's a reflection of us.
It is.
Our values, what we hope for, what we're afraid of. And the future of AI, it's a story we're all writing together.
We are, yeah.
And it's up to us to make it a good one.
So that's it for this deep dive. It's a lot to think about, but remember, this is just the beginning. The world of AI is huge and always changing. Keep learning, keep exploring, and you never know what amazing things you might find.
Stay curious.